Welcome back to another episode of Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin, and today we're heading right back into our exploration of the 1792 line.
lineup.
And today we have a borrowed bottle.
We do.
So
John Bowman, a good friend of mine and member of our whiskey club,
Yep.
had come across a bottle, I believe, down in the Georgia area.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So this is their sweet wheat. This is actually the very first extension that they did outside of, like, after they did their small batch. So this is the very first one they did, and I want to say it was middle of 2015 time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I can't remember now. I'm trying to remember what was the next one, but they released one mid 2015 and another one like late 2015. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they went from, and that's 1792 is known as a high rye bourbon, the sweet wheat. So what they did was they switched the rye with the wheat. So that's a lot of times when you hear a wheated whiskey, Buffalo Trace, Larceny, Maker's Mark.
Yes, it's the second main ingredient.
So they kind of, well, they won't do rye. They'll do corn, which has to be at least 51%, and then they'll do wheat with the barley. Some of them, the four grain might do both wheat and rye, but usually when it says wheat like this, it's mainly they substituted the wheat for the rye.
I'm mistaken. He did not get this down in Georgia.
Nope.
He got it here in town.
Really?
He did what a lot of us do. He just asked kind of what's in the back.
What's in the back?
What's in the back. And they had a couple left, and he was fortunate enough to be able to get one.
Very nice. This is a Laverne pick?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's one that we actually just passed by earlier this evening.
Okay. Ooh.
It's interesting, like we were talking earlier, though. I mean, they have their whole lineup, and a handful of them are just seem to be readily available.
Right.
This one is that first expression after small batch, and it seems to be one of the hardest ones to get.
Ones to find. I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen this on the shelves. I've never seen the port finish on the shelf.
No.
I've never seen the high rye. And those are the ones that, I have no idea. Don't know why they're so hard to find, but they are. The MSRP for this guy is 35-ish.
John.
Finding it for that is,
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, that's a shot. The best price I could find was it Drizzly online for 55.
Yeah, John said he got it for around 46.
Right.
So still, it's not too bad.
Not 46 isn't too bad.
No.
But it'll be interesting to compare it to a Buffalo Trace or a Weller.
Yeah.
Special Reserve. I mean, we're talking below 30 for most of these. Same thing for Larceny versus the MSRP's mid 30s. Finding it for that is nearly impossible.
I don't get a whole lot on the nose on this one. It's very.
The first time I went
very
in,
light.
I got a little bit of it's not peanut, but almost like an
Pecan, a walnut, or
more a walnut. That's yes, more of a walnut. I was struggling to figure out. I was just like,
I've moved ahead. I've taken one sip, and I get the walnut on the taste.
There's just a hint of a walnut in there. It's not as sweet as I was expecting. I mean, sweet wheat. A lot of times those wheat whiskeys, bourbons, are very sweet. That's kind of like the primary note is coming through, very, very sweet. It's not quite there.
Yeah, that taste, a lot of walnut, oaky, but then it kind of just dries up. Leaves your tongue kind of dry.
It does. It's not overly sweet. It's again,
false
sweet
advertising.
Wheat. I'm a little confused on all of this. It's not overly sweet. There is a little bit more of an oak note to it. So I don't know. There's no age statement when they originally.
They don't put any of them on anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they've pulled them all off unless it's specific, like the 12-year. I don't know. When they originally released it in 2015, the press release said something about almost 8 or around 8 years. They don't really talk about it. And their website is, I don't like it. There's no good information. It's very small blurbs about each one and then a list of all the awards that they've won, and that's it. But very little information about the actual whiskey. It's all about the awards that they've won over the years.
Each drink I take, I mean, the proof is only 90, 91.
Yeah.
91.2.
Yeah.
I think each drink I take, It gets a little hot, a little hotter. I feel a little warm right now. I do pick up a little more sweeter notes. There is some dried fruit, more like a cherry, dark cherry, so that kind of sweetness. But it's not like a Weller
No,
sweetness.
no. Wellers come off like.
But I think this one,
candy.
I would be interested to drop a few drops of water in this one, see if it opens anything else up.
Well, yeah. There's some legs going on there. That's a decent amount of oil in there. Yeah, I guess I could. I mean, that would be interesting to try just to see what that would pull out there. The oak comes through. That walnut comes through, and then some baking spices. It's not quite cinnamon, but it's in that ballpark.
You get a little bit of cinnamon, but not a ton.
The walnut comes through more and more. The more I take a sip and then go back to the nose, it's kind of compounding on itself.
Yeah, I don't know. You know why now? Each taste like it gets hotter and hotter, and it's not a high proof.
It's a very oily mouthfeel to it. It really kind of coats everything.
But then
I'm getting a lot
then
more. It
just dries out.
But there's a lot more. I don't. Again, so I think we've had this too. I'm not sure necessarily that it's a baking spice note or if it's an oaky wood note.
Yeah.
Because now I'm starting to think that. Now I'm going to that side of the flavor wheel of it's a little bit more of an oaky dry note, kind of like antique wood. I don't know what antique wood tastes like exactly, but that's kind of the feeling that I get, or the smell, and that's what it's kind of what I'm getting.
I think it's a pretty decent bottle. I'm really curious. Love to talk to someone from 1792 to find out why this is one you just don't see on the shelf.
Right. Yeah. What's that? Is it a number of barrels and allocation issues or production limitation of some sort?
Or are they trying to compete with the Wellers that are
and be more
drop
allocated?
basically for the most part drop once a year, typically in the
Right.
fall.
Yep.
And it's just a limited number of bottles.
It's maybe. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But so compared to regular 1792, I actually prefer this flavor profile a little bit more. It's got a couple different things in there, and it's not quite as rye forward and aggressive as 1792 is.
The other ones we've done, I preferred the OG over
the small batch.
foolproof that we've done.
Yeah, the full proof was a little off. That's about the best I got. It was a little off. This is good, and I'd have no problem paying that MSRP of that $35-ish range. But the fact that you can't find it for less than 50 some odd dollars, and I mean, even he got a really good price at 40 some odd dollars, you're starting to get outside of that value mark as far as I'm concerned compared to other weeders. I mean, like I said, Buffalo Trace, Larceny, Maker's Mark, all weeders.
That'd be a fun episode to do, to stack all those up.
All the wheats.
No, not
That's
all
a lot
of
of
them.
wheat.
We have to handpick a few.
Yeah. Stick it into a price range of,
Yeah.
There's a lot of weeders.
We got to make it through the episode.
Got to put a cap on that. I agree.
I enjoy the OG 1792.
Yeah.
This one is probably, I would put number 2.
I like that it's different. That's really what it comes down to. There's a big difference in the flavor profile, and I kind of like. I like that at least they're doing some experimentations. They're doing something
they have the
different.
full lineup. I mean,
Yeah.
just need to be able to find them all.
Yeah.
If you're one of those ones that like to have all the full lineup on your bar, which I tried to do at one point, but couldn't find this guy. And
Could not find that one or the
12 or the port.
the port or the.
All right.
Which I'm not sure I'd even want that one. But I try it.
But yeah, I mean, the more I go back to it, the more I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's almost something like you kind of have to get used to it. But once you kind of start to get there, it's not bad. It's interesting, but it's not overly complex. It doesn't linger forever, and there's a little dry out.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good if you can find it. I think it's a solid add to the bar cart.
Yep. And this is number 4 for us in the lineup.
Sounds right.
Yep. So big thanks to John for letting us
Thank you, John.
borrow a couple ounces out of your bottle. We appreciate you joining this episode. We hope you enjoyed the review. If you got a favorite 1792, we'd love to hear your comments on this one. especially on this one that we just did. Did we miss something? Or is this your favorite? And tell us why. We'd love to hear that. We'd also like for you to, if you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, that definitely would help us. While you're down there, you can hit that subscribe button, and then you can hit the bell icon. You get notified every time we put out a new episode. Totally agree. Let us know what's your favorite 1792.
Until the next episode, thanks for joining.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.